Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be quite different from my channel. I'm going to be doing a commentary video and discussing the current news involving Balenciaga. I normally do not comment on controversial topics or news, um, but because I've been such a long time huge fan of Balenciaga, and I've talked about Balenciaga so much on my channel, I felt it was important to me to comment on this and share my thoughts. I do have some very strong feelings and thoughts surrounding this issue, so I want to discuss that with you guys and let's have a conversation about it. So, in this video, as a quick disclaimer, I'm just going to be sharing my opinion on the events that have unfolded recently. I will also be detailing those events and kind of giving commentary on it as I go. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. So, throughout this video, I am going to be referencing an article by People magazine. It's called A Timeline of Balenciaga's Ad Campaign Scandal. I will also link this article in the description box below. So, if you want to read more about this or just read the entire article, definitely check it out. So, this all started on November 16th, 2022, when Balenciaga launched their gift collection holiday campaign. The items featured in this campaign are from their Spring Summer 2023 collection. So, when this campaign launched, it was accompanied with some images that many people immediately became disturbed by, and it really started a huge backlash for the brand. So the campaign featured images of children holding these teddy bears that are dressed up in what looks like fetish gear. Um, as you see, the harnesses and all. And it just was quite disturbing and kind of initially very shocking to see these images. There were also empty wine glasses in the photographs with the children. When I first saw these photos, I was completely shocked and appalled. I mean, for me, I feel like the messaging here is very clear. When I saw these images, I really felt as though this was a message about child A. Can't say certain words here on YouTube, guys, but that's what I immediately associated with these photographs was child A. And fill in the blank. Then in a second campaign, these documents were featured on a desk photographed with a Balenciaga bag. And these documents are an excerpt from the Supreme Court case, the U.S. versus Williams, which involves child P and freedom of speech. So that to me really prove that this was intentional. I do not understand how all of these items, props, whatever you would call them, are strategically placed into a photo shoot, into a campaign, all in error or by accident. So, as I mentioned, Balenciaga immediately started to receive backlash regarding these images. And on November 23rd, the photographer who worked on this shoot came out in a statement basically saying that he was not responsible for the content of the photo shoot. On November 24th, Balenciaga released their first statement regarding this, and they posted this to their Instagram stories. I will read it. It says, "We sincerely apologize for any offense our holiday campaign may have caused. Our plush bear bag should not have been featured with children in this campaign. We have immediately removed the campaign from all platforms. Then, just hours later, the brand released a second statement referencing the Office campaign that featured the Supreme Court documents. And they say for this, we apologize for displaying unsettling documents in our campaign. We take this matter very seriously and are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unapproved items for our Spring 23 campaign photo shoot. We strongly condemn abuse of children in any form. We stand for children's safety and well being. Then, the very next day, on November 25th, Balenciaga filed a $25 million lawsuit against the campaign production company as well as the set designer. So, I had three major issues with the apology or the statements that were issued by the brand. Honestly, I'm not really buying it, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, where is the corrective action? Like, what change are you making? Simply removing the photos from all platforms, I think, considering the backlash and outrage everyone has, is simply not enough. Number two, I felt the apology also didn't explain what is happening with the merchandise. Like, is this still going to be released for spring 2023? Like, what are you doing? And I think that can also be considered under the corrective action. Like, how are you fixing this moving forward? And then I feel like they were also deflecting by immediately filing this lawsuit against the production company as well as the set designer. That is kind of like not taking accountability. And then that's kind of my final issue because they were so quick to deflect and place blame elsewhere and not take accountability for themselves. It really, for me, just made the entire statement feel false and just not honest at all. I was very disappointed with their response. So on November 27th, Kim Kardashian released a statement on Twitter addressing the controversy with Balenciaga. And she said, I've been quiet for a few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could have happened. As a mother of four, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child A of any kind should have no place in our society, period. I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaign and apology. In speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take necessary measures for this to never happen again. So, because Kim Kardashian has worked with Balenciaga many times in the past, everyone was kind of expecting her to make a harsh statement towards the brand, kind of not just condemning the actions, but I guess severing ties with the brand altogether. And because her statement, while she acknowledged she was outraged by the images, her statement was a little kind of straddling the fence, and a lot of people were upset by that. But I think that kind of takes away, again, that accountability that needs to be placed on Balenciaga. While Kim Kardashian has, represented the brands and modeled for them, she is not part of Balenciaga in the designing aspect, in the sets, in the production of these campaigns. So I think we have to remember to keep all accountability back on Balenciaga. So the day after Kim Kardashian's statement, Balenciaga released yet another statement on their Instagram page. And in fact, this is the only post that's currently on their Instagram page. They have archived all of their other content, and there's just this one post. This is quite long. I am not going to read this statement, but the difference here is more accountability. The brand is saying they take responsibility for these errors. I'll include the statement so you guys can pause and read it if you'd like. While I think this last statement focuses more on accountability, I feel like it was way too little, way too late. I mean, again, so many people are completely disturbed and outraged because of this, and it just, their initial response just did not suffice. And that's why I thought it was important to comment on this entire situation. As I mentioned before, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Balenciaga. I actually loved the brand for years. I mentioned before that Cristóbal Balenciaga is one of my all-time favorite designers. Like the gowns that he designed, I think are just like masterpieces. And honestly, I will say the last few seasons, I would say probably like the last 6 seasons, I have been quite disappointed with the direction that the brand has taken. I feel like Balenciaga has become very gimmicky, very like merch, like selling everything with logos on it and just like the brand name versus like um, interesting designs. I feel like it's just become like a merch brand. Um, Also, I feel like a lot of things that the creative director, who is Demna, a lot of the things he does is for like shock value. They're very gimmicky. You know, he's like wanting these viral moments and he's got them. I mean, over the past few seasons, we've had those Lay's potato chip bag and the trash bag, and it's just become like a brand that I felt like had so much prestige, and I just, really admired the brand's heritage, again, from the couture roots of Cristóbal Balenciaga. And I feel like when you think about that as a whole, like the origin of the brand, and I know this is because I'm a fan of the brand, I feel like what's happening to Balenciaga in recent years, and especially now, is completely destroying the heritage and legacy of the brands. I mean, to think that Balenciaga started out as a couture fashion house, and now today it's literally become a complete spectacle. And honestly, I don't know, like this need to maintain relevancy doing kind of these stunts. I feel like it's just giving desperation. It's just giving like we want to stay relevant, and I just found it to be very gimmicky. Now back to like the controversy of the campaign. I really feel as though this was not an error. I mean, I feel like um there's too much of a strong message here for it to be an error. There's no way these documents were just by accident placed, and then the photographs of the sets involving the children, it just was entirely inappropriate. And I personally feel like, yeah, that was done intentionally. And since this entire controversy started, many people have really been like really looking into these photos, kind of dissecting everything, and a few disturbing things, even more disturbing if you can imagine, um, were like came to my attention, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Um, so here is a photo of one of the pictures from the campaign featuring a child, but it's zoomed in on this kind of caution tape that's supposed to say Balenciaga. Now, if you recall, Kim Kardashian did wear an entire look wrapped in this Balenciaga caution tape. But here is why it's like getting attention now. So if you see the tape, it says Balenciaga and it's spelled Balen. That's what we can see on the tape. Balenciaga is spelled Balenciaga, right? So there's only one A, Balen. That's how the spelling goes. So why would this be misspelled? So here is one theory that has been brought up. So the Baal, Baal is the name of a demon that um, pagans sacrifice children to. Right. So, I mean, as a logical, intelligent person, am I to believe that Balenciaga does not even know how to spell their own brand name, or was this done intentionally? Also, on November 28th, the Business of Fashion revoked Demna's Global Voice Award. So he was receiving this award for 2022, and they have come out with a statement and revoking that award. So that is it for all the updates regarding this kind of ongoing controversy with the brand. Um, I am quite disappointed, shocked, outraged, and just deeply disturbed by all of this because it was a brand that I um, liked so much. And like I said before, I do feel like this is kind of ruining the legacy and heritage of the brand overall. And it's just super disappointing. I mean, if you can imagine like having your favorite athlete do something really horrible. And this is like, athletes are often, figures that people look up to or, admire. And as a fan of fashion, and this is how I feel about, these brands that I'm really into. And this was just a shocker for me. And that's why I felt like it was important for me to comment on it because I do talk so much about Balenciaga. Moving forward, I don't see myself shopping at Balenciaga. I have, my bags, my classic Balenciaga city bags, but I don't think I will be buying anything else from the brand. I don't know exactly what, if anything, it will take to kind of make all of this right. Like I said, for me, I feel like it really has just tarnished the brand for me. And Balenciaga, if, these are some of the things they deem to be appropriate for a campaign, it's just not a brand that I will support in any way. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this entire kind of the summary timeline of everything, thoughts on this entire controversy. Let's definitely chat more about this in the comments section. I would really like to hear you guys' thoughts. This is my first time doing this kind of commentary style video. I'd like to know not only your thoughts on this issue, but I'd like to know if you'd like to hear more about these like fashion news stories. Not always is there like these major controversies, but what's going on as far as news in the fashion world. I mean, this is something that I can do if you guys want to hear more commentary on, the latest fashion news. I would definitely be up for doing that. If you watch this entire video, thank you so much. I think this is important to discuss, which is why, like I said, I like to continue the conversation in the comment section below. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.